Yeah, y'all gonna stop coming in my live talking about this Victor dude, bro. We hooping this year. Y'all gonna see.
Alright team, so today I want to talk about Taylor Jenkins. As y'all know, the Memphis Grizzlies head coach, or should I say former head coach, has been fired. And this is very surprising considering that they're going into the playoffs and we're about 9 games away from starting the NBA playoffs. So they're going in with a new head coach, our interim head coach, Thomas Isolo. And so I want to talk a little bit about this situation and get y'all's guys' thoughts on, would y'all be open to having Taylor Jenkins be the next head coach of the San Antonio Spurs? Or would y'all prefer a different candidate? Now, for this situation, I had to do my due diligence and really see what was going on with the whole situation in Memphis. And so I have done a little bit of research and I kind of got a gauge of what was going on in Memphis and what led to the firing of Taylor Jenkins. So let's just go ahead and talk about it. So it turns out that the Grizzlies actually hired a whole new set of assistant coaches, which a majority of them weren't Taylor Jenkins' preference. I'm pretty sure they were basically like assigned to his staff. They had basically forced Jenkins to get rid of his other staff before they got Noah LaRoche and Thomas Isolo, which I believe LaRoche is now fired as well. But throughout the whole season, they were implementing Noah LaRoche's offense. The focal point for this season wasn't Ja Morant. As y'all know, he is having a down season and that led to some frustrations with Ja Morant not really being the focal point of the offense, which I can understand from some perspectives. He hasn't been consistently available. The Grizzlies have been that team where they don't really know who they're going to be playing on a night-to-night basis. Sometimes you have the full roster, sometimes you're missing Ja Morant and a bunch of players, and we have seen seasons where Taylor Jenkins has led a team where they should really just be a tanking team, and he's led them to a couple of wins. So like I said, the frustrations from Ja Morant led from the offensive system implemented by Noah LaRoche, who was an assistant coach alongside Taylor Jenkins, which I'm not entirely sure if it was a mesh of their offenses or if it was just like predominantly Noah LaRoche. And obviously Taylor Jenkins is going to have something to say about that, or he's going to feel some type of way. And so that kind of impacted his coaching style and what he was accustomed to in previous years. And I think that's why people have been happy, or Grizzlies fans have been happy to see Taylor Jenkins get fired. And I've seen some people say that he is a bad coach, when in my opinion, I think he's a pretty good coach. I wouldn't say he's the best or like top 3 because you do have tremendous coaches in the league, but I for sure think he's top 10. And who knows, with the change of scenery, it could be like a JB Bickerstaff situation where he leaves the Pistons and he goes to the Cavaliers and he kind of elevates their game. Not saying the Spurs are going to win 60 games next season if they were to hire Taylor Jenkins, because I don't know if that's entirely realistic, but I do think a change of scenery for Taylor Jenkins would be beneficial to the Spurs and himself. I also believe that the Grizzlies wanted Isolo to be their head coach of the future, and so why waste time and keep Taylor Jenkins when you have an assistant coach already in your system and you want him to build with this new group? The Grizzlies think that that coaching style is better for the team that they have, and so I also think that that played a part in Taylor Jenkins being fired. Obviously they could have waited, but I don't know the exact details of why they did it at the exact moment. So it's not just like he was out here coaching up a disaster class or doing some Mitch Johnson rotations. There are some other factors that played a part in this. So I wanted to start with that. Taylor Jenkins is not a bad coach. If the Spurs were to land him, I would be pretty excited and happy about the whole situation. I believe he's one of the best coaches the Grizzlies have had. If I'm not mistaken, he is the most winningest coach in Grizzlies history. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna pull that up for y'all. So pulling it up on Basketball Reference, he is the longest tenured Grizzlies head coach for 6 years. Oh no, we actually have Lionel Hollins down here for 7 years. But he has coached the most games and he has won the most. His win percentage is second, which is impressive. And in the playoffs, he has 9 wins, which is second. So there is no doubt that he has been one of the best coaches that the Grizzlies have had in previous years. Just a little bit about his history. He won his first Western Conference Coach of the Month award after the Grizzlies went 11-4, and that's where I mentioned he was a culture setter and he did really get that team to buy in when he had a majority of the power to do so, like when he was coordinating the offense and defense, if that's what he was doing. I'm just assuming. He has a bunch of coaching experience. He has been an assistant for the Bucks, the Hawks, and he is a part of the Popovich tree. If y'all didn't know, he coached the Austin Toros when it was the D League in 2012, 2013. And he did that for many of years as he was an assistant coach through 2008 to 2012. And he was also the head coach in the 2012-2013 season. So he has been a part of the Spurs system. So you can stamp him as Spurs qualified. And I know that's something you could say about a lot of coaches, but they are kind of a hot commodity. They don't become available that often. Like you see Ime over there in Houston, they're not going to let him go. And so to have a coach who has been a part of the system be available at this time where there's not as much certainty about who's going to coach the Spurs next season, I think Taylor Jenkins could be a safe option and he can help establish a culture here in San Antonio. But let me know what y'all think. There are some other options. I know Monty Williams, he still lives in San Antonio. Eric Spoelstra would be pretty nice, but those are all hypothetical. You never know what they're going to do. I think Spoelstra signed an extension, so we are limited, but I do think there are some good options out there. Let me know what y'all think down below in the comments section. Leave a like down below. And let me know, would y'all be okay with Taylor Jenkins being the coach of the future? I know I would give him a chance for sure. But with that being said, I will catch y'all later. It's been your boy Chris, and I am out.